Welcome back, I'm Rachel, and in this video I'm going to go over the structure of the cuboid bone. The cuboid bone is located on the lateral side of each foot. If we look closer at the lateral side of the right foot, we can see the cuboid bone highlighted in red. If we look at the plantar view, which is the sole of the foot, and the dorsal view, which is the top of the foot, we can see the cuboid bone located on the lateral side of the foot. Now we're going to look at the different landmarks and features of this bone. Here we have the anteromedial view and the posterolateral view of the right cuboid bone. This bone is cube-like in shape, which is where it gets its name from. This bone has 6 surfaces. The first of these surfaces is the plantar surface. This surface is found on the bottom of the foot. This surface has a deep groove on it known as the peroneal sulcus, also known as the fibularis sulcus, which can't be fully seen from these viewpoints. This groove is where the tendon of the peroneus longus muscle, also known as the fibularis longus muscle, sits. Also on this surface is a tuberosity which this tendon is bound by. The second surface is the dorsal surface. This surface is roughened for ligament attachment. The third surface is the medial surface. This surface has a large facet on it for articulation with the lateral cuneiform bone. In some cases, there is a second, smaller facet on the surface for articulation with the navicular bone. The fourth surface is the lateral surface. This surface has a deep notch in it from the beginning of the peroneal sulcus that goes on to run along the plantar surface of this bone. The fifth surface is the posterior surface, also known as the proximal surface. This surface has a large, smooth facet on it for articulation with the calcaneus bone. The medial plantar area of this surface extends outwards proximally to form a process. The sixth and final surface is the anterior surface, also known as the distal surface. This surface has 2 facets on it that are divided by a ridge. The medial of these facets is for articulation with the 4th metatarsal bone. The lateral of these facets is for articulation with the 5th metatarsal bone. Let's now take a closer look at the articulations this bone has with other bones. This bone articulates with 5 other bones. The first of these articulations is with the 4th metatarsal bone. The medial facet on the anterior surface of the cuboid bone articulates with the facet on the proximal surface of the 4th metatarsal. The second articulation is with the 5th metatarsal bone. The lateral facet on the anterior surface of the cuboid bone articulates with the facet on the proximal surface of the 5th metatarsal. The third articulation is with the lateral cuneiform bone. The large facet on the medial surface of the cuboid bone articulates with the lateral surface of the lateral cuneiform bone. The fourth articulation is with the navicular bone. The smaller facet on the medial surface of the cuboid bone articulates with the facet on the lateral surface of the navicular bone. The fifth and final articulation is with the calcaneus bone. The large facet on the posterior surface of the cuboid bone articulates with the facet on the anterior surface of the calcaneus bone. What about the muscles that attach to this bone? 2 muscles attach to this bone. A portion of the tendon of the tibialis posterior muscle attaches onto the plantar surface of this bone. A portion of the flexor hallucis brevis muscle originates from the plantar surface of this bone. And that concludes this video on the structure of the cuboid bone. I hope you found it helpful.
Thank you for watching. If you want to support this channel, please subscribe and check out more of my videos.